This is Darvi. In this episode, we are going to talk about the current pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. Now it's COVID-22. Anyway, and its variants. So you have to understand this pandemic is caused primarily due to lack of human transparency at the government level too, and greed is one of the major contributor to COVID pandemic. Like if you look at the past and if you read the news, like back in 2019, we can see that Italy never stopped airlines, or they never stopped the tourism operations. That was really an issue actually. Because of that, so many of the people got COVID, and most of them are living a good life, I suppose. I don't know. And like if you look at before that COVID-19, I think their life was a stable life, I suppose. I think they are getting job, and the economy is good. And after the incident, their trajectory of life entirely shifted. Some of them died, many of them died, I think. But compared to other virus, it's still low. But we don't know what is the potential of this virus. But due to technology, we have been able to mitigate the spread of virus. But still, this is due to human greed and lack of transparency. And if the Chinese government took the actions as early as possible, or never underestimated the situation and never underestimated the virus, they could have dealt with this virus and everyone would be okay. And this incident would altogether be avoided, and so many people's lives will be saved or would be saved. That's the case. That's the case of life, right? You can never know when it will end because you don't really have any control over it. That's the point. And even if you look at the present, there are so many people are who are having a tough time living because so many people lost their jobs, and everybody thought the pandemic will be over, I suppose. So many people thought the pandemic will never be over, and they protested against this because they want to do work. Means they want to work and earn. And so many of them said this is a little virus, we shouldn't be afraid of this, it's no issue. Some of them died actually due to this virus. Right now it's okay, suppose, but still the third variant or the third wave is coming up, and this is affecting many people. I do not know this because is it because of the pandemic that the crypto has gained lots of popularity? Maybe this all fit together. We could say that Amazon gained this much popularity due to COVID because people started to buy online, and because they do not want to go outside to purchase because there is a chance of getting the virus. Yeah, and I think cryptocurrency too, because this is online based, right? I believe so. That's why this is an issue. By the way, people is having a tough time, and the economy is going down, and inflation is going really high too. And so many people lost their job. That's the primary thing. There is the rise of technology in one end, and people losing jobs at the other end. I don't know how they are going to solve this. It's a huge issue, and I don't think it's a easy issue to be solved. It's like an impossible issue, right? And because I do not have much hope for human beings as of now. If you look at them clearly, can understand that. Like look at China itself. If they could have avoided the situation, there would be no COVID-19. And if other countries didn't be so greedy, or if they have calculated enough, they could have stopped the COVID-19 when it arrived, and they could also get profit in the future, more profit. But they looked at the short term, they looked at now, and they started making money. And people went out, did some work, and like the virus is still here, and everything was believed to be normal. And what happened? So now we are losing money. So the government should always look for what is best for the individual and the economy, and they should look in the future terms, means in the long term. That is what I believe, because that's the only way we can hope to save humanity, if there is such a thing actually. Meaning people who believe in humanity is doing the worst thing. Basically they are doing the worst thing possible, and nowadays humanity is a marketing word to make money. So this is why, and it's really hard for some people to change because of their habits and their culture, and the government and the government's strict their dedication, which is not really good. And like in China itself, there's this way of living, right? So that goes to America too. This is all an issue actually, and we have seen that right now itself the cases are going up exponentially in USA also, and this is a really joke, right? So, and like I'm really happy because I'm fortunate enough to not be dead right now, but that's not the case for many other people. You have to understand, and I'm not blaming anyone for this. They did what they're doing. They're humans. I do not believe humans are rational people by any means, because they are not. They do whatever they do meaning whatever feelings they have, they will do it with that. What, like, they do it out of their whims. That's what they do. Yeah, and the only solution as of now is that means after the pandemic, if there is such a thing, is to recover from this. And it's really hard because in India's case itself, we were in a difficult situation like even before the pandemic. I don't know what will happen after this, and the cryptocurrency is going up, and now it's bullish, but in the future it's going to be better, I suppose, after this filtration, means the great extinction event. I mean the death of many cryptos. Only handful of them will survive. Yeah, that will be great. But I do not think there's such a thing as a control. Means we do not have anything, right? If the government takes some actions, we have to obey it, right? We have to go along with it. Or if we do otherwise, there will be consequences, right? It's really hard to believe in the government nowadays. But it's out of human control, this pandemic, and I think the pandemic is going to be there forever. I suppose the variants will come and go, and we have to live accordingly. Yeah, and accordingly, and I do not see a solution for this other than the technology, the prominence of technology going up. But we have always been too optimistic about our technology. We are so arrogant because we know everything, and the fact is we don't know anything. Actually, we know something, but I suppose we really don't know that much. Seriously. Like even before COVID, we will say that like you cannot stop human beings. We are so genius, we are so powerful. And what happened when an incident came, like a small virus actually, as they say, as some human beings say, suddenly the entire game changed. Means the entire scenario changed, and our technology is not wiping out the virus. And as I see it, so many human beings are dying actually, and the technology is not doing very well. Yeah, we are overestimating our technology too much. Technology helped to reduce the effects, but it didn't help to save many people who lost their lives in the process. Many say it's because they are already going to die because they have some illness. I do not know about that. I think this is a serious pandemic. So many people are dying, and we have to stay strong, or otherwise we are getting I don't know what to say to people about this, because it's not a good sign for anything. Good sign for our economy too. And the only thing we can do is strive and make our life better. And now it comes to individual level actually. No government entity is going to help us in any ways. They have helped. Our state might be those states who helped, but there are lots of states that didn't help their citizens. They were the lucky ones, because we do not have any control of anything actually. Yeah, because we are purely lucky. And these patterns are occurring every day, and so I hope I hope in the future we get to a point that we will look for long-term gains rather than the short-term gains, and we will look and consider other human beings, and we will look and understand the situation. If the situation is going to cause many people harm, or this is going to help many people. I do not like the idea of a nation state anyway, because this form of tribal mindset is not good at all, because we have to cooperate at a larger level actually, and I do not think this is the best way to make humanity better. We can I think with the current technologies, in the future we might be able to save all the people at that time the person who are living at that time, and it's going to be better, I suppose. But the global warming is another issue, and we cannot solve this. Actually, it's really hard, and the businessmen who come to solve this are not of great businessmen. Basically, they're businessmen, and they're not here to solve any problem. They're here to make money. You have to understand. Yeah, anyway, I hope you all are safe, and if you do love this video, subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you. Have a nice day.